The need for that network of care and support for care providers themselves, I believe, should be one of our big takeaways from the pandemic. I need not remind you gathered here today of what time that was like, but I know the calls I received and the stories that I have heard from 2020 and in the months since. Stories like that of a New York City physician named Lorna Breen, who served on the front lines of early days of the pandemic, contracted COVID, and yet continued to selflessly serve her community until her tragic death by suicide in April of 2020. She experienced burnout and the immense trauma of caring for COVID patients, both of which were exacerbated by a fear that if she sought help, she would be stigmatized and potentially stripped of her ability to practice medicine. It is in her name and alongside the work of her family that I successfully passed into law the Dr. Lorna Breen Healthcare Provider Protection Act last year, so that our healthcare heroes have access to the resources and services they need to prevent burnout, suicide, and mental and behavioral health conditions while reducing the stigma of seeking help. After all that each of you have given to care for us, it is our responsibility to care for you in return. We have incredible physicians, doctors, practitioners, and students in this country. Each of you are living proof of that. But unfortunately, quality healthcare is out of reach of many, either due to cost or lack of access.
Thank you, everybody.
That was the speech where he said that I hope my 4 children grow up in a country where they are judged not on the color of their skin, but on the content of their character. That dream, it stuck with me. It meant something to me because it was the dream that allowed me to go in a single generation from being the kid of Indian immigrants who came to this country with almost no money, like so many of you, who went on to found multi-billion-dollar biotech companies. I led that company as a CEO for 7 years. I worked on a medicine. One of them is FDA approved today to treat a rare genetic disease in children. I know to an audience of physicians, you all will appreciate this more than any campaign audience I talk to. It's a therapy where 20 kids a year are born with a genetic disease. 100% of them die by the age of 3. I had the privilege of working on a therapy where now a majority of those kids can live lives of a normal duration if they're treated. Another for a drug for prostate cancer.